There we go. It was Instagram. Hey, everyone. Good evening, and happy Friday, and happy almost Christmas. It is my joy to be here with you all this evening. I have done a little bit of gallivanting this week. So I haven't been live much this week, and I have missed connecting with my ladies like always. So happy Friday night. I said I was going to go live this evening. My husband is working tonight. He does all the things. And so he is out handling some business this evening. I said, well, you know what, children? Go to your rooms for a little bit. And then after mom is done with her live, we're going to have like a nailed it cookie competition at 9 p.m., 9:30. I don't know what made me think that this is a good idea. However, we are here handling all the business, okay? Hi, Sandra. Happy Friday and happy almost Christmas. I'm excited to share with you all this evening. We're going to talk about income producing activities tonight. This is especially for the mom leaders who are in our community. I'm going to take a second and make sure that I am sharing and live all of the places because someone specifically asked this question, and so I want to make sure that I tag her. Hey, I'm live, because she asked about this particular question. I want to make sure that I have it pulled up so that I can share some value. Hey, everybody, Merry Christmas, because we celebrate Christmas around these parts. There's a whole lot of things going on in the world, right? Like social media has been lit on fire with the TD Jake stuff and Diddy and, golly, what else is happening? People still talking about Carlton Pearson and this and that. Like so many things that are happening around the world. And so one of the things that I have done this week is, and for the last couple of days, is say, hey there, folks who are minding their own business. Hey there, people. Hey there, women, influential women leaders. Hey there, superstars who are out here minding our own business. Because no matter what happens with all of these folks around the world, all of these situations, and they're so interesting to watch, and really what it boils down to is it's a distraction. Right? There's a lot of distracting things happening that are pulling us away from what we're really supposed to be doing. Can we agree with that? Y'all wave at me if you understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of, hi, Stacy, there's a lot of distractions that are happening right now that pull you back to the main events. Okay? Back to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and your email and so many things that are distracting you, these digital distractions that come on the scene in order to move you away from what you are really supposed to be doing. And so while I could go on a rant about any of these topics or ideas or situations, I promised that I was going to go live and talk about you. I decided I was going to go live and talk about what's going on in your world, okay? Because whether TD turned up or not, whatever Carlton Pearson believed, whatever else is happening in social media world and all these other things, at this moment, as we're sliding into a brand new year, very little of this is actually affecting you. Good evening. Very little of these stories that are taking social media by storm. Okay, very little of them actually influence you, woman who is called to serve, called to lead, called to create change in your family, in your business, in your life. Very little of this actually has anything to do with you. And so tonight, I'm talking to the mom leaders who are growing businesses, the mom leaders who firmly believe on the inside that they're called to create community change, that you're called to be someone who steps out to the forefront. Even if you haven't been in the forefront in the past, you're called to that, right? Somebody who's thinking about, wait a second, what exactly do I want to nurture and bring out of myself as I go into this new year? Hey, everybody. What do I want to see in myself in the new year? So what I did was I positioned on my Facebook, one of our ladies sent me a question. If you still have questions about being a mom with a business. Sometimes the term mompreneur is a little weird, overused, whatever. But y'all know what that is, right? You a mom, you somebody's mama, and you're growing a business. Yeah? Okay. So, and if y'all see me do like this, is because Stacey, I did go running out on my street. I'm very proud of that. Came in, hopped in the shower, came to do this live. So if y'all see me fanning, it's because my body takes 60 to 90 minutes to cool down because I'm out of shape. Okay, let's get to the business, okay? So one of the things that all of us know across the board, Sandra said, that's me. Stacey, I already know that that's her, right? One of the things across the board that we have to remember as women leaders is, sis, you are the president. You're the president. You're the leader of you, okay? And so across the board, as you are vision casting ahead into the new year, you really have to lean into what exactly do I want to see happen in my life as a result of these goals? What do I want? And I challenge you beyond just the business idea, but what do you want for yourself as a person? What do you want in your marriage? How do you want to grow, develop, nurture, love on your kids? How do you want to take care of yourself? Part of the reason I'm signing up for this half marathon is because I'm like, oh, I want to take better care of myself. Just better care. And it's not even the act of working out, because I work out anyway. It is the how hard it is for me to put everything down, put my clothes on, my running shoes and everything, put that stuff on and walk out of my front door. That's a challenge for me, right? When it gets dark at 4:00 and I have to go outside and I run just on my street, up and down my block, where my husband can check on me and make sure no one took me, right? But I want to make sure that I'm becoming that person. I remember old Christina, and you guys might have an old version of yourself that you want to lean back into too, where it did not matter how late it was or how cold it was. Y'all, I would go outside and run at 9:00 at night in 30-degree weather. And I would make my husband come outside and check on me. I would make him sit in the car with the car running and watch me run circles around our parking lot, right? At our old apartment. That was old Christina, okay? So if we're talking about being the president, if we're talking about being the woman who creates results, if we're talking about being in charge of this result, okay? One of the things that my coach said was, when you step away from working on an idea or business or whatever as a hobby or something that you just like doing, when you step into doing it as a bacon bringer and a breadwinner, that this is a completely different conversation. And she's like, you know what? We have to adapt ourselves accordingly to make sure that we're one of those people. Y'all hearing me? You're the president. You're the woman in charge. And if you're not willing to sit with that responsibility, that this is on me. Okay? Like Sandra said, stepping into a different kind of transformation. And so one of the worst mistakes that you can have is thinking that you actually work for, even if you do work for somebody else during your day job and you're building a side hustle or you're building a business on the side or whatever, you still have a responsibility. Every single day I wake up and I coach myself on treating Mamathon like it is my bread and butter. Y'all hear me? Now it is my full-time job. It's what I do for a living. But I treated Mamathon like it was my bread and butter before it was. I treated it like it was my main squeeze, my boo thing before it was. I made the decision that this was going to be, I was sowing this energy and this time into this community, this platform, before it was my life's work and my day job. Before I coached for a living, I had to sit with, I want this to be something. I need to act like it already is. Okay? I have to act like it already is. And I worked at it and I nurtured it. Okay? So there are three things. Okay, first, let me ask this question because I already know the answer. Who wants to make more money going into the new year? Who wants to make more money going into the new year? Just wave at me. I already know what it is. We already know what it is. Who wants to make more money going into the new year? I do. You all will. Right? However, I'm excited about the culmination of what Mamathon is doing. Like, we have different things. We have like 3 different things that are happening right now. We have the mastermind that starts in January. Okay, starts in January. I'm doing one-to-one coaching, but I'm also doing so much more advocacy work and partnerships and influencer partnerships, things of that nature that I've really been enjoying doing. That was what brought in, this year in my business. Okay. I coach because I love coaching. The advocacy work is really the bread and butter for me. Okay. The advocacy work is what gives the juice. Okay. And so that really helped to push me to, wow, I tripled my income from 2022 to 2023. Okay. So that was what we did. All right. So I'm going to lean in just a little bit more. Here are 3 things that determine your income. Y'all ready? And this is from Brian Tracy's book, Master Your Time, Master Your Life. There are 3 things that determine your income, or 3 factors. The work that you do, how well you do it, and how hard it is to replace you. The work you do, how well you do it, and the difficulty that people have replacing you. Okay? So here's what you need to analyze. Sit with this for a little bit. Okay? We have all different realms of people whose businesses are succeeding. So I believe that it's not necessarily the type of business that will determine if you're successful or not. It's not necessarily the type of business that you have that will determine if you are successful or not. I believe even more, it is your belief about who you are in this work that determines if it will be successful or not. Who are you while you do this work? When I show up, and I'm talking to one of my clients, we're working on getting her and getting some contracts and just doing different things as we're working together every week. And we were just talking about, she was like, the issue is not, do I know what to do? Because most of us know exactly what we are supposed to do. For more of us, the issue is having the confidence and the finishing power to actually go and do it. That's all we're going to be working on in the mastermind. That finishing power. That finishing power. Do you have the confidence to show up like, baby, y'all should have been known about me? And do you have the finishing power that when you say you're going to do something and you started, you actually work through to the end? Or are you somebody who feels yourself, you believe in yourself one day, the next day things don't go the way you planned, so you've lost that confidence. Then the next time you stop too soon. I'm ready and excited, Stacy, to see the overflow of the vision board workshops. And let's meet at my church and have this and have that. And you're going to become the person that does the things this year. And I firmly believe in you all's capacity to go forward and be that person. Okay? But let's just sit with for a second. Is it the calendar that changes me as a person? There's something about that fresh start. There's something about seeing January 1st and realizing, thank you, God, I made it through to another year. I get another chance to do it right. I get another opportunity to show up, deliver, be that girl. But I dare to say that some of us, we get caught up in our offer. We get caught up in the kind of business that we have. We get caught up in a whole host of other things. And we completely miss out on the idea of, you know what, Christina? The calendar is changing, but I as a person am not. The calendar's changing, but I'm still the same. Are you still the person that starts going to the gym on Monday and by Friday you've given up the habit and you're eating Cinnabons? Are you that person? Are you emotionally aware enough to focus in, lean in to that necessary work? Are you her? Or are you sliding back and forth? Some days you're her, some days you're not. Some days you're her, some days you're not. Okay? So as we are analyzing what determines my opportunity to make more money, okay? And there are lots of you guys who are like, listen, that's me. I want to do more, make more, earn more, rest more, right, Stacey? Like I want to have this healthy mixture of all the things. I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you 100%. I want to breathe more. I want to spend more time laughing. Me and my husband last night, we went to Atlanta to see Gregory Porter in concert, and we just breathed and did a lot of sleeping and other grown people things and just enjoyed being childless, and it was wonderful. Hey, good evening. It was all of the things, right? I want all of those moments, but I want to figure out how do I get them in every single day? Where every day I feel like I'm laughing. Every day I feel like I'm fulfilled. Every day I feel like I did what I was supposed to do and I became the woman that I said I was going to be every day. So Stacey said January 1st is easy to track, but any day, any moment is a great time to start to do things differently. Here's the thing. I'm running a half marathon in 3 months. I am not in running shape. So I'm getting back in running shape. And even tonight, like I didn't run yesterday, we were gone. Maybe not the day before that because I usually skip a day, right? Like I'll run, do something else, run, so like 3-4 days a week. And I said to myself, self, it's cold. I said to myself, self, you could just stay in the house. You can't run all over your neighborhood like you would when it's light outside. But the Christina who is half marathon ready is someone who goes outside at 7 p.m. in front of her house and runs the laps in front of her house and does what she says she's going to do. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The work you do is a factor. How well you do it is a factor. But how hard is it to replace you, the person, when you decide to go and do something else? And so I had to say to myself, self, you promised yourself. Somebody pat yourself, say, I promised me. I promised myself that I was going to be this person this year. This year, I have like 9 days till the new year. I promised myself this year that I will be a runner again. Not when 2024 rolls around. I told myself I would do it this week. So even if I didn't work out yesterday, even if I didn't run yesterday, today's another day. Am I committed to being that person? Okay. And so for a lot of us, we want to add more to our bottom line. We want to make more money in our business. We want to be booked, right? We want to be booked and carrying on and doing all this stuff. And we want to see the receipts rolling in. But I got to ask myself, did I finish what I started? Did I finish what I started? Have I made my business, my community, these conversations that we're even having right now, have I made this that they know me for this particular thing? I had a client, y'all, all of this happened within the span of 1 week. She found me on Instagram, of all places, #productivity coach, right? She found me on Instagram on a Tuesday, booked a Thursday call, and then paid in full multi-four-figure invoice on Saturday. She didn't even go through all my stuff, Stacy. She hadn't been following me for years. None of it. I was like, how did you even find me? And she was like, I went look, I knew what I needed. I was like, right? She said, I knew what I needed. So the question is, are you the person that finishes it? Are you the person that shows up? Are you the person that's thinking about more clients, more opportunities, more people connecting with you about the work that you do? But when they go to look for you, you're MIA. Even if I'm not live, y'all can hit the bell on my stuff. You'll still get content. You'll still get content. Even if I'm not live, you could be on the email list. I send out like 3-4 emails a week with actionable steps for you to get your edges together. You can go to themamathondiaries.com. Somebody put that in the chat for me. www.themamathondiaries.com and join our email list and get all the good tea. What's happening? What's going on? But thank you for this. Am I committed to being that person? Did I finish what I started? Don't you dare go to not one vision board party. And the vision that you had for 2023, you didn't do that. Just get you a fresh number and take the 3 off and put a 4 on there, because your vision should be the same. It should be the same. Thank you, themamathondiaries.com. It should be the same. Just peel the 3 off, slap that 4 on top, because your stuff should be the same. And for many of us, we are just leaning into all of the other reasons. And then we have the nerve to blame external situations for things that are completely and totally up to us. Completely and totally up to us. Did you do what you said you were going to do? If you showed up and nobody else showed up, did you do it anyway? You guys know when we did the masterclass, what was it, about 2 weeks ago? I had some kind of weird, crazy tech error and I could not fix it. And my husband wasn't here to help me. And so I literally had to just scrap this version and do this other different version. But what if I just say, you know what, it's not working the way I thought it was. We're just going to postpone or not do it. Hi, Inga. And we're just not going to do it. My question is, how committed are you to this result? Because across the board, results are creatable. You should be able to know ahead of time. It's not rolling the dice, hoping for a 7. This is your life. It's your future. It's your business. It's your family. So I said to myself, if I take no one-to-one clients at all next year, how do we still create this same result of the tripled income? How do we still create this result of these partnerships who are paying, who fueled tens of thousands into the Mamathon movement this year? Wait a second. I see you, Essence Festival. Don't know how I'm going to pull that off yet, y'all, but I see that in the distance. I'm like, let me just go ahead and shoot my shot. Let me send that text and say, listen, when y'all open it up, holla at your girl. Okay? This is where my mind is going. Where's your mind going? Some of us need to be more like Pinky in the Brain. Every night, Pinky says what? Hey, Brain, what are we going to do tonight? And Brain says the same thing we do every single night. We take over the world. The same rules apply to you, business owner, to you, mom who is called to lead, to you, woman leader. Stacy, I have so many amazing mental health professional clients coming in, and I'm loving it. Loving it. Like, this is so great. psychologists, therapists, counselors. It's amazing. And y'all are so fun to work with. You're so fun to work with. Because here's the thing. Like, once we get this all this mess that's in here happening together, once we get this in here together, once you really tap into your resourcefulness, oh, wait a second. You telling me that nothing stops me? Okay, so let me look for instances in the past where I overcame what felt really hard. Let me look for times in the past where I had to create a result quickly. What would I have done? What would I have done? Because I'm committed to the result. I'm committed to it. I refuse to believe that this is not something that's possible for me. If you could be at your ultimate resourcefulness, what would that look like for you? Hi, Lude. I love you guys. If you could tap into your ultimate resourcefulness, what would that look like for you? What would you have to do to create something? I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to talk about this more in the mastermind, but I'm going to tell y'all, lean in. In early October, I still needed a lot to take care of every single thing that went with the Mamathon conference. Every single list of the things that went with the Mamathon conference, it was like, God, this is one of those things where you look at the budget and you hand it to God. Like, okay, God, I don't really know what to do with this, so I'm gonna need you to work something out. Thousands of dollars, no lies. Thousands of dollars. So I sat with the Lord. I said, okay, God, okay, what determines how much money you make? The work you do, how well you do it, the difficulty that it is to replace you. Okay, so I sat there and I said, okay, Christina, you are resourceful. Here's the affirmation that I always let y'all borrow. Okay, I reminded myself of this. I said, by the grace of God, what am I about to say? Every single goal that I set, I achieve. This particular goal that's in front of me right now will be no different. Every goal that I set, I achieve. If you look back in your yesterday, if you look back in the days gone by, the goals that you have set, getting your master's, starting your business, homeschooling your children, getting the job of your dreams, getting your bachelor's degree, getting certified, whatever those things are, those were goals that you set, that you achieved. That when I really committed to it, I made it happen. So you can also say every single goal that I set, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to see it all the way through. And because I had amazing women like Lude, who was like, listen, I have the Mamathon conference information sitting on my fridge. She was like, oh, I'm going to Atlanta in October. I can't send out no email talking about, I don't know, y'all. No, ma'am. Every goal we set, we achieve. Period. And I went on I am so resourceful, I cannot fail effort. And she was there, Stacy. And so were you. Every goal I set, I achieved. Period. Y'all, I opened up my email. I got coaching, right? I was like, okay, I know I need to do it. This has to happen. It's not like it could not happen. No, it's got to happen, right? So I leaned into my own resourcefulness and generated significantly more than what I actually needed. Significantly more. Okay. I had some sisters come after the conference, like November, we were talking. And they were like, listen, I love what you do with the conference. I want to do a live event too. I want to have a conference and do a hotel and yada, yada. I was like, baby, I said, my food and beverage was was. Okay. I was like, listen, it's okay for us to work on certain things in its season. So, because this is my 8th year doing this. So now that I lean into my resourcefulness, it might not be your time and your season for that yet. I'm fine with saying that. I'm okay with that dropping that education. Do you have a budget? No, I don't have a budget. Oh, well, that's a problem. I be calculating conference expenditures down to the dime. And Teresa says, why did you, that's my event planner, why did you over put in this number? Because I'd rather have too much money than too little. Okay? So I continually lean into every single goal that I set, I accomplish. This goal right here in front of me will be no different. And I know for a fact, I'm going to just speak to it like I see it. There are several ladies here in this room who are trying to figure out, how am I going to pull off joining the Mamathon Mastermind? How am I going to pull off becoming a money generator? How do I pull off being the person that says, if I got to do it, this is how I'm going to do it? I leaned into every single option I needed to make sure that I was successful at my goal. Okay, do I need to take out a loan? If I need to do that, that's fine. I can just handle it this way. Oh, do I need to do this over here? Let me connect with this organization. Do you know any other organizations who want to connect with women like this? Do you know about this? What about this? Oh, yeah, we will give you $10,000 for your event. Wonderful. Thank you. On to the next. But I had everything so well calculated, and I was willing, because this is my life's work. This is my life's work. You all also have life's work. Whether you are a mental health professional and therapist like Stacy, whether you are going to change lives through the written word like Lude, whether you're helping mothers not to run away from home screaming as they homeschool like Inga, whatever the ways are that you're going to change the world, baby, that's your life's work. How you do it might change, but this is this passion that's so deep-seated inside of you that's like, okay, I just got to make this work. I treated Mamathon like it was my bread and butter before it was. Before it was a thing, I was like, oh, I just need to treat it like it is while we grow it to this new place. I need to love it and treat it and sow into it and show up for it like I believe in it. The same way that you show up for your kids. Do you show up for your business that way? The same way you show up for your spouse at your kid's football game? Do you show up for you that way? Or is my stuff negotiable? Your stuff, kids, your stuff, husband, is we absolutely must make it happen. But when it's my stuff, it's up for negotiation. I've had a really, really good conversation with my husband, and I'm gonna have to bring him on. Like, I think he's gonna probably do a session in the mastermind, y'all, because it's gonna be fun. But just talking about like our relationship dynamics, especially when it comes to finances. Okay. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because even if a woman is income producing and brings money into the family, somehow there's still the feeling of, hey, baby, do you feel like this is okay for me to do? And so I talked to him about it because I was like, there's that feeling like I work, you work, but somehow I need to still come and say, husband, can I, or is this okay? And if you don't see the value in it, then it's no longer valuable. I know. This is a little weird. It's a little uncomfortable, right? And so we were talking about it because I was like, babe, and I invested a significant amount in coaching this year. me, Christina, right? 10 times when I'm asking my mastermind, okay? And I really knew that on the other side of it, that I was going to make that money back. Okay. But this all connects. And I hope I don't have to be your person. You can go to whoever you want. I'm just talking out loud. Okay. But I invested this year in mindset and business coaching for myself. Okay. The result of that coaching was me tripling my income from the year prior. Okay, was me tripling my income from the year prior. Okay, so then I think to myself, or even talking with you guys now, I have a particular former client. I love her. She's so sweet. Like, I just love her. But her husband doesn't necessarily see the value in her getting motherhood coaching. Right? Her husband doesn't necessarily see the value. So she feels like she needs to explain to him why it's good for her. Baby, I want her to, I feel like I need to feel like this. And she doesn't really have words for the transformation that she feels when we work together. But I said, well, listen, you have to learn to become your own best advocate. So you have to learn how to communicate with your husband that even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, my effort here is equal to your effort. And a lot of times we don't, even if you work, you don't feel that way. Okay. So we're coming together, and I really want to unearth some of these challenging topics, these things that actually do keep us in the way from moving forward, right? From moving forward to the next thing. Somebody said, I feel that and I'm cool with it. It's like, okay, well, you know what? If he doesn't understand, can you be okay with it because you understand? I told one of the other ladies, I'm going to follow up with her this week too. I was like, listen, talk to your husband. Like, listen, if I got to take this out of the savings, I'll put it back in 6 months. I'm borrowing it from our family. I got financing for my own coaching. This is what I did. We're talking about resourcefulness. When I had to bridge a financial gap for the conference, I got into my email, put my sponsorship stuff together, and I had sponsors the same month as my event. We're talking about resourcefulness. We're talking about I'm willing to do the things in order to make it work. This is a goal I have. I believe I can achieve it 100%. I know that I can do this. Am I willing to be resourceful and go get it? Because somebody's business, Stacy, wants to have a therapist on staff. Somebody's business wants mental health resources ongoing and available to their executives. Somebody wants these things. So then the question is, do I believe that? First question, do I actually believe that for Inga, people are out here and they want homeschooling support? I know they do. Do I actually believe that there are executives who want mental health support and they want to have somebody there to work with them and coach them through X, Y, and Z? Do I believe that? And then as a result of that belief, what action do I take? What action do I take because I believe that? And so I don't have the notebook near me, but as things came to my mind this year, Christina's mind. Sometimes I don't even deal with y'all. I'm talking about myself. Okay. I made the choice. Okay. It was a long list of, oh, I haven't talked to that person in 6 months. Let me do a follow-up. Going into the new year, let me get on her calendar now. I have calls with people that I sent email pitches to sponsor the conference, mind you. I have calls with those people in January. No, it didn't work out for this past October, but could it for next October? Could that work then? Okay, so some of us, we are feeling constrained in some ways, but if you had unlimited resourcefulness and unlimited capacity, what would that look like? How would that show up in your life? Okay, so now I'm going to get to the question that came to me. And then I'm gonna go and, although it's late at night, bake cookies with my children. And we're gonna have a nailed it, like a nailed it cookie competition. And then when daddy comes in, he's not gonna know whose cookie is whose. He's gonna be the judge of the cookie competition. Right? I just thought of that while I was at the Walmart. I'm such a great mom. Okay, so mompreneur question. How do we generate income quickly when the schedule is already maxed out? How do I get money going when my schedule is maxed out? Okay. So here's something that I choose to believe. I choose to believe that money comes to me all the time from various places. Okay. One of my ladies, actually more than one this week, were like, hey, listen, I'm working out some things financially, right? Here's what's going on. I'm letting you know. And I let them know. I was like, listen, I was like, sis, those invoice reminders are automated. I was like, they're going to come to you no matter what. I'm not over in, sending the week of Christmas, run me my coin emails, right? I was like, I just don't do that. I was like, it's all automated. Just breathe it out. Okay. The moral of the story was that it can be very hard to bring in when you feel scarce. Okay. This is something that's happening internally. It can be very hard. I think my husband's here. It can be very hard to generate when you feel scarcity. Okay. One of the things that I share with clients often, and even people on a discovery call, because sometimes people on a discovery call feel like you need them to be a client. Baby, you ain't got to work with me. If you want to go back and continue being tired and letting your kids run your life, more power to you. If you want to continue walking in circles and making the same vision board 4 years in a row, have your fun. Totally fine with me. Right? Like, you don't have to come and be a client. I have clients, right? Like, I think that there's a certain feeling that can come up in anybody when you are experiencing scarcity. Okay? Where it's like, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to come together, right? I'm working on achieving this particular goal and it's not happening. I put out this offer, nobody bid, all of these things that can start to come up, right? I choose every single day. If y'all go and just look at my feed, right? I choose every single day to just show up as a very calm presence in the world. A very calm presence in the world. Somebody the other day put up a post, and y'all can laugh about it, put up a post about life coaching versus therapy. And it was the idea of, why would you hire a life coach when you could just pay your therapist? And, Stacy, all about the co-pays, and you can just pay this much. And, why would you have a life coach when you can have a therapist? And the whole post was screaming, I don't have clients. The whole post was screaming, I have too much time on my hands. So let me become graspy about all the reasons that I'm not booked right now. Okay. Meanwhile, me and my therapist clients, I'm like, girl, guess what post I read the other day? And we're on our coaching sessions cracking up. And they know the difference. And I, as a life coach, know the difference. And they're like, this is like two completely different models. Like, coaching isn't therapy. And we're just laughing all about it. Some of the things, Stacy, it's screaming, I'm available. It's screaming, I now want to poke holes in other people's mantras or messages or whatever, because people are not coming to seek me out about my expertise. So every single day, I choose to show up as a calm presence in the world. if you want more rest, if you want to feel resourceful, if you want to feel like my capacity is not limited, I'm actually unlimited in how I serve the world. Of course, I have space to do more and to execute more. This is just who I am. Oh, every goal I set, I achieve. You don't have to be the way that I achieve this goal. It's going to happen anyway. You see the difference in that versus, oh, you should have a coach. Coaching is a therapy. Da, 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 da. Like I could come in and nitpick apart other people's stuff. For what? Why? So there's this idea that we come up with, like Stacey says, in the mindset. Am I feeling sufficient right now? Sufficient right now. I'm about to do just like this. Whether y'all work with me or not, I got lights. I have 5 children, 5 to 15. Y'all have not heard not one. The Garrett house is peaceful. Marriage, doing fine. Business, flourishing. It doesn't have to be you, right? I have people on my calendar right out. Like, where did they even find me? Who is this person? Let me go look this person up. How did they appear on the calendar? This is so great. But I choose to show up like a calming presence in the world. Hey, there is another way other than just being overwhelmed. And if you want that, you can come and walk with me. Stacey might say something like, listen, I often use this quote, and Stacey can borrow it because we have different people. A well-managed mind is the true flex. Being able to control your thought patterns and how you think and your beliefs and healing and all of this wonderful therapy and coaching mixed together. That beautiful painted story that she can only paint. That's beautiful, right? So you don't have to have a lot of time to make a lot of impact. Some days I wake up and I'll be transparent. I'm like, oh, I should really send an email today. I really don't know what that email should be about. And here's what I do. I sit with myself for a minute. Put my hands on the keyboard like this. I sit with myself for a minute. I say, wow, I really love my ladies. Like even now, Stacey, you know that you can think intangible thoughts and they produce physical response inside of your body. If you think scary thoughts, you can feel fear in your body. If you think anxious thoughts, you can feel anxiety in your body. But if I think love, intention, focus, teaching, education, supporting you on this Friday, that makes it easy for me to show up. That mind-body connection. So before I go out and I say, I'm going to send an email, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, I just sit with, what do they need to hear today? What do my people need to hear today? And here's what I notice. The discovery calls that are booked might not come from the email list, although I only sent the email that day. The discovery call may not come from the Facebook post. One of my current clients, when I say we laugh and cry every session, it is so good. Like by God's grace, y'all, she was like, I'm ready to divorce my husband. And every week we pull back and we say, okay, wait a second. Have we thought about this? Wait a second. Let's look at it from this angle. And there's actual healing happening in her family and her motherhood journey. The transformation is wild. It's wild. I'm like, girl, I still to this day, I need to ask her next week, how did you find me? How did you find my website? Where did you come from? To this day, I have no idea. We were working together for almost 2 months. I have no idea where she came from. So here's what I believe. I believe that when you show up and you put value out into the world, okay, I'm giving you guys value right now, okay? So you put value out into the world. I literally have no idea where that person will come from. I met a woman at a banquet, and we were talking kiki because y'all know I just love phenomenal women, period. If you Black woman and you fierce, sis, what's up? And so we're talking at the table, and she's like, okay, tell me what you do. And she works in education. And I said, well, listen, I'm a productivity coach for women leaders. And she was like, oh, I need that. She said, so you're like a life coach? I was like, yeah. I did not offer her any services. Y'all hearing me? Is everybody picking up what I'm putting down? I did not offer her any services. I just told her what I did for a living. Wouldn't you be afraid of a doctor, listen to this, of a doctor who says, you're like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a heart doctor. Really? That's incredible. Do you want to come see me tomorrow? My whole calendar is clear. You can come anytime. Would you go to that heart doctor? I'll wait. Would you go to that heart doctor who said, oh, my schedule's completely clear. I can get you in anytime? You would be like, why is your schedule so clear? Are you Dr. Kevorkian? You would have a lot of questions, right? It's completely different. I talked to someone in the elevator. I was at the doctor's office with my mom. And I was like, yeah, Mom. I talked to the gentleman. I said, so what do you do here at the hospital? He said, I'm a heart doctor. I said, you know what, sir? It's so nice to meet you. And I hope I don't have to see you again. He said, most people say exactly that. It's this idea of this availability, right? Where you're like overtly available. So sometimes I think about it just like this. Okay, here's value out into the world. Boom. This 1 hour. Okay. We're putting out into the world. And then I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go mind my business. Y'all hearing me? I'm going to leave this live and I'm going to go hang out with my kids. And we're going to have an ugly nailed it cookie competition and laugh and maybe watch a movie if I can handle them being up that late. And we are eating tacos and relaxing. Okay? I'm going to leave from this part of my work day and I'm going to go and mind my business. So here's how I need you guys to think about it. You're like, Christina, listen, I'm trying to give me some end of the year push for amazingness. Can we sit for 5 minutes and say, how can I best serve you through this email? Through this live. Okay, here's what I'll tell you, and this is what Brian Tracy said. He says your income is determined by 3 factors: the work you do, how well you do it, and the difficulty of replacing you. There are probably a lot of productivity coaches out there in the world. There are lots of self-care coaches for moms. There are people who will come to your house and organize your space and all this other kind of stuff, or all the myriad of things. Okay. However, if they're looking for the most decorated productivity coach, if they're looking for one of the productivity coaches with the most children, if they're looking for one who homeschools like they do, or is married to a minister like they are, right? Like there's all these other things. It's hard to replace the pastor's wife and your pastor's wife. You're like, wait a second, you're a pastor's wife too? Wait a second, you have multiple children too? Wait, you homeschool? I want to homeschool. All of these things coming together. You're like, wait a minute, you're my person. You're my person. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to get ready to wrap up. I connected with a really fly sis. I'm not gonna say who she is, but her husband is very noteworthy, and I've heard him talk about her in the past. I was like, listen, I just want to go find out who this wonderful woman is. And I knew that when she found out who I was, that she was gonna want to know me too. But I did not ask her to know me. I was like, hi, I just wanted to send you this word of encouragement because your husband was talking about you, X, Y, and Z. So great to get to know you. That was it. Because if you're a doctor, you don't walk around putting flyers on people's cars that says, hello, I'm available for open heart surgery tomorrow. Just be you. Put the value out into the world and then go and walk away. What do your people need to hear from you today? How are you going to give it to them? Can you go live and talk to them on Instagram? Can you send a follow-up email to those who express interest in connecting? Can you send an email to your list? And then can you trust that you put value out into the world and leave and go walk away? That is the ultimate sufficiency. That is the ultimate sufficiency. Because I have people just like you guys, the way the algorithm works, people who come and find posts from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they're like, ooh, I saw that. It resonates. Or you put this really, really, really long post up that nobody clicked anything about, but that really short one that you put up, they're like, ooh, this is interesting. Let me go to this person's feed and see who they are. And then I'll see certain people who have said they're not ready to work with me yet, but they'll go and they'll like 8 posts in a row. I'm like, oh, okay. Every correspondence brings them closer to, hey, let's create some magic together. You want to create magic? You trying to figure out how to do it with all these kids? I know, girl. I'm totally your person. Okay? I'm totally your person. So what determines how high you'll go, even in the last week of the year, Stacy can sign a client, Inga can sign a client at the end of the year. Okay? The work you do, you all already know your work is needed. Okay? How well you do it, I believe I'm the best productivity coach. Okay? You should believe that you're the best too. You should believe that people really do need what you have. I know for a fact that mothers, women of color are starting businesses at unprecedented rates, that we're spending more and more time on social media, which is fueling the idea that we should be able to do all the things for all of the people. Either we do that or we decide to run in the opposite direction of now I don't want to do anything for anyone in order to protect my peace. How do I create that bridge in the middle? How do I find my personal happy medium that works for my season of life? So that's my job, is to help you figure out how to make it work without the overwhelm, without the burnout. Okay? That's my life's work. How I do that has changed over the years. But I continue to talk about it because I know the work I do is needed. I know I'm really good at my job. And I also know that it's hard to replace a God-fearing woman who didn't start coaching last week, right? She honors and respects and loves her husband, because a lot of coaches or leaders out here do not value relationships and marriage. So here you go, learning principles and strategies from somebody who is single, no kids, or doesn't have a good relationship with her spouse. We want to grow with everything in connection. Okay? And then how hard is it to replace you with your credentials, with your life experience, with your years of knowledge? So I personally sit with one lady. She was like, I don't really know about coaching. I was like, I'm going to be transparent with you. You do not have to work with me. You don't. So, but if you have questions, she wanted me to like send her testimonials from past clients. I want to know like who you work. No, I've worked with elected officials in my city. One of my past clients is filming for Netflix right now. She does not want you to know that she had trouble overcoming her family situations. So no, you don't get testimonials. And you got to be, and ma'am, you have to be okay with that. And I was like, as far as I'm concerned, like there's a different attitude when you feel sufficient. Okay, there's a different attitude when you feel sufficient, kept up, supported. That, oh, whether you work with me or not, everything's gonna be fine. Like you're not the only bread and butter. Does that make sense? Like and it's not a way of denoting the client. It is a way of saying, listen, I'm gonna be okay if you make a different decision. But if your decision that you have, you really do want to be a yes, then we can figure that out too. There's some ladies who were watching or were earlier, and it was like, hey, you know what? You need more time? Here's your more time. You need to figure out how you're going to do it? Figure it out. Because I know you want to be a yes. Okay? That's different than, oh, I don't know, maybe not. That's fine. You can also not know, but when you come to your decision, Stacy can easily say, I'm not switching careers. I'll be here when you're a definitive yes. Okay. And so it is sitting with that level of certainty, like that level of sufficiency, whether it's you, if it's not you, that's okay. You don't have to become a client. I just want you to make sure that you make the best decision possible for you or for your family. When I talk about offers, like, do you want to do the mastermind? That's $2K. Do you want to work with me one-on-one for 6 months? That's $5K. Do you want to do this over here? Like, and some people, they just come to the conference, right? It's your world. You can pick which one feels like it's best aligned for you and your family. Which one feels like it works best for you and yours? You can let me know that. Okay? And if you choose not to do this option, that's okay. If you choose a different option, that's also okay. Okay, so you really do want to be a yes, then let's figure that out too. Okay? But there's a completely different energy, right? From, oh man, I really do need to sign a client. Oh, I really need to like make all these things happen. Sure. But showing up in that way, and I was telling one of my other clients, I was like, listen, you cannot show up and create products and services from scarcity. You're just going to be grasping everything. Selling your old shoes, selling your lawn furniture, just doing everything. It's like there's no need for that. You're completely sufficient. Let's talk about how. So that you are creating and serving and supporting and showing up for your clients and your community from sufficiency, from I have everything that I need. How can I serve you? How can we create magic together? What are your goals for the year? I know you've been brainstorming on some things. How can we work together? How can what I'm doing help to support what you're doing? Because whether you work with me or not, we're still going to do this anyway. We're still going to do this anyway. And from that energy, I try to show up. If I feel any sense of insufficiency or scarcity, I might not post at all. Lest I sound like that lady who was talking about life coaching versus therapy and, oh, you should really do this. And why aren't you doing this over here? It's just giving you're not fully booked. It's giving you don't have clients. So you need to ostracize how other people do things in order to make you feel better. And so it's from this place that I show up, right? It's like, oh, okay, you know what? I have so much coursing through me that offers value to the world and that yields, as Stacy said, limitless ROI, limitless return on my investment. Because this is true, what action will I take as a result of this belief? What will I do as a result? Should I show up and go live today? I might just send an email. Should I do this over here? I'm not really, but I'm going to take an action as a result of me believing that. And some of it might just be me going out into the world and looking like this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And when I let my light shine, people are automatically drawn to me. People automatically say, "Hi, who are you? What do you do for a living?" "I'm Christina. I'm a productivity coach for working moms." And they're like, "Oh, do you have a card?" Older ladies say, "I wish I had that when my kids were home." And I say, I work with empty nesters too, right? Like that tying together, but I'm always working on that very calm presence. Because a lot of times when y'all come to calls, you wish you had all of your thoughts sorted and everything was perfect and soothed and all the things. But if you guys have a million ideas coursing through your mind, you're talking a mile a minute, you're like, I know this is a lot, but I just have all of this and I'm just okay. It doesn't serve you for me to come in and be like, and I'm scatterbrained too. That doesn't serve you well. So you, woman who is called to lead, the ladies who are watching, the ladies who will watch, if you are a woman who is called to lead, then you have to come in as the calming presence and the problem solver. I know this feels really big for you, but let's look at it like this. What if you don't have a capacity? What if everything that you want to accomplish, you can, but maybe some of this will put on the shelf until the summer? Maybe you don't start this and this and this now. What if we just do it? Let's put it for June. Let's put it for April. See how calming that is? But me showing up, I'm doing, hey, come see me, notice me, book a call. It may come across as I don't have this internal sufficiency, this eternal and internal sufficiency. Because if my showing up is putting value into the world, okay? My showing up is putting value into the world. And so when your schedule's already tight and you're already trying to figure out how you're going to do all the things, okay, what if my value is 1 hour of, hey, everybody, here's 3 practical tips for 1, 2, and 3 if you know you need more. I always say you can go and look through the last 10 years of Facebook Lives, right, and learn, and that'll help you get yourself together. Or you can come and join the mastermind in January and work with me one-on-one, right? Calming energy. You have options. If you want to listen, by the time you listen to all the lives over the last decade, your kids will be grown. You'll be good. But for those of us who want more of the right things right now, you have options. Okay? So, I hope that answered your question. I think I'm leaning towards how, if I'm short on time, how can I put value out into the world by settling myself? Okay. How can I remind myself that all of my needs are provided? Every goal that I set, I achieve. I really do believe I am the best to do it. Okay. I really do believe that. I feel that internally. And because I feel that internally, I will take an action as a result. Stacey is a therapist and a coach. What if when people inquire about who she is, she says, I'm a coach first and a therapist second? Because she knows she's going to have therapy clients, but I might want more coaching clients. I'm a coach for high achieving Black women who do blah, blah, blah. All the things. We'll figure out more of that stuff. Noted. What if I lead with something else? What if I lead with that? Because you're going to have therapy clients no matter what. What if Inga, she's not here right now, maybe she is, leads with, I'm a coach for homeschooling mothers or for moms who want to take charge of their children's education. What if I lead with that? Of course, I can say, hi, everybody. I'm Reverend Garrett's wife. Nah, baby. When you shake my hand, I'm like, I'm Christina Garrett. Hi, Inga. I'm a productivity coach for working mothers. Really? Tell me more about that. And I was like, well, it kind of depends. But usually I work with women who have a lot of goals and are trying to organize their busy lives so that they can accomplish them. Oh. And then on the corporate side, I do work-life balance workshops, and I'm going back to work with Hyatt Hotels again in March. It's exciting. My husband is recording content for them as well right now. There's like a myriad of things, right? That you can lead with that. If you want to lead with the corporate side, lead with the corporate side. You want to lead with the coach's side, lead with the coach's side. But what can I lead? What if this is just who I am? Like I, Christina, the person, am changed as a result of everything that I put inside of me over the course of this year. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. She said, hi, I'm Inga. I help overwhelmed moms, both homeschooling and those planning to start, to manage stress and confidently balance their children's education with their own well-being. I love it. And you could also, here's the thing, you meet somebody, hi, tell me about you. I'm a homeschool mom coach. I support women who are homeschooling or those who are planning to start homeschooling. Period. Because when you meet the doctor, he doesn't say, hello, I'm a heart surgeon and I do work on this valve and work on this valve, da, da, da. All these other attributes. He just says, I'm a heart doctor. Right? He just says, hey, this is who I am. I'm a neurologist. Oh, okay. Tell me more about that. I'm curious. I'm a homeschooling coach for moms. Very matter of fact. I'm not asking you to become a client. And I think that's where sometimes somebody asks me like, Christina, where do clients come from? And I'm like, they're everywhere. Did y'all see how many women were there at the Mamathon conference who were brand new? One of the sisters, she came for the first time last year, Cherry. I met Cherry in the Starbucks. I met Cherry in Starbucks. She was sitting next to me. We got to kikiing and talking about things. And I was like, what you doing in a couple weeks? You should come hang out with us. She's like, okay. There were other women. Somebody shared the flyer. And she was like, I'm in Tennessee. I might pull up. I'm like, pull up? We are seriously the best. Like, there's no better. Just ain't. Like, the vibes are everything, okay? But you see my face, like, I believe this so much. I know when you come to the Mamathon conference, your life has changed. I know this 100%, okay? So, I've been live too long. It's almost 10 o'clock. I promised my kids we were going to decorate cookies, which means I have to hold up to my word, which means they'll be up all night. But tomorrow is Saturday, and I don't have anywhere to be tomorrow. So I'm going to go live again tomorrow morning, and we will talk more about mompreneur life and how to set yourself up for an epic new year. We will not host a virtual vision board workshop because some of y'all just need to peel the 3 off and just slap a 4 on there because all your stuff is still the same, and that's okay. All right, that's okay. As we conclude, a few things, okay? Number 1, the Mamathon Mastermind starts on January 8th. I was talking with one of our ladies, and she was like, she needed more time to accomplish her resourcefulness. She needed more time to accomplish her resourcefulness, okay? To tap into it and say, listen, I'm gonna get my deposit together, okay? So If that's still you and you're trying to figure it out, the investment, okay, is $2K. All right. And you need to have a 25% down payment or deposit to be a part. Okay. This is for everybody who is like, Christina, the 6-month coaching. I want to do it. I want to have you all to myself every single week, but the investment may be a little lofty. Most of the ladies that come into that option pay in full upfront. Okay. So it's just different options for different people. The Mamathon Mastermind is if you need more of the teaching like we've done right now, but really going deep into it. If you know that you're going to need that support, strategy, accountability over the course of the first half of 2024. Okay. This is over the first half of the year, and the investment is only $2K. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 2 amazing resources. Number one, they're called Lift Fund. Lift Fund. Okay. You can go there. They will finance your business coaching. Okay. There may be another one I need to look into, but that's one of them for sure. And then I have I'm just big on like business finance. Like all the big folks, like they just finance stuff. I'm like, what? Let me just do that. So those one for sure that when I invested in coaching, I went to go and I tapped into that resource, and they were a great resource for me. Okay. So if that's something that you need, holla at your girl. I know for a fact, I believe in you all's resourcefulness and your capacity to create something out of nothing. And I dare to say, to recant that last part, because none of us are working with nothing. Okay, you have your knowledge, your intellect, people's eyes are on you. So now you just need to get louder. You need to get louder. You need to say, you know what? I know for a fact that the skill set, the expertise that I have sitting up in here is going to help you to get to the other side. Okay? Do what you need to do. I invested in, I'm going to be honest, I invested in mindset and business coaching this year and tripled my income. What if you just make back what you put in? That's not even spent money. That's not even spent money. That's an investment. I made it back. Okay? That is our goal for everybody that's coming in, is that you figure out, you make your money back, and then you continue to do that again and again for the rest of the year. Okay? So if you know that that's something that you need, remember, you can slide in my DMs. I think you guys have all the information that you need. Just say, hey, Christina, that's me. I want to do my 25% down payment so that we can make some magic happen. Okay? But I need you guys to lean in to being the woman that shows up, being the woman that is resourceful, being the woman that carves out the time needed to become who you said you're going to become. And I created the mastermind for you. I created it for you guys because I know that everybody can't just jump into the 6 months of one-to-one coaching. And that's okay. We all have different places where we start. And because of that, I know for a fact that we can take everything up another notch, okay? So yes, hashtag get louder. Let's become resourceful. Figure out what you need to figure out. That's between you, God, your husband. Make it work. Figure out what you need to do, okay? But I believe in you all's capacity to create big change and big results, okay? I've been live too long. I love y'all dearly. I'm going to go bake cookies with my kids and breathe and enjoy my evening. And I love you guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. I'll send an email out before I go live. So you guys have your eyes on your email and we will create some magic. Hi, baby. All right. They're like jumping. You ready? She's like, yeah, let's make cookies. Yeah, let's make cookies. Okay. I love you all. Talk to you guys soon.